Welcome to the very first episode of my new podcast, Middle East and Tyrone, or M.E.A.T for short. Don't worry, it's vegan friendly. It's not about meat. That's just Middle East and Tyrone for short. This is an introductory podcast to basically explain what way the podcast is going to work. I'm riding solo today, but hopefully going forward I will have guests on the podcast to help me chat shite. And more often than not, I'll have Adrian O'Neill on the podcast. That's when he's not covered in cow dung or going around houses touching people up or being a masseuse, as he likes to call it. Well, that's his excuse anyway. Shout out A1 Sports Massage for all your sports massage needs. This podcast isn't about a specific topic. It's just more me ranting and giving off about the current state of affairs in the world and reviewing TV shows, movies, music, all that kind of stuff that I think is shite. And basically everything that I think is wrong with the world. And stuff that grinds my fucking gears. And there's a lot about the world that does that. So over the next few episodes, you're going to hear what annoys me. I'm also going to do a bit of reviewing of like the top 5 weirdest stories in the world and just see what the fuck is wrong with the world at the minute. And this leads me perfectly to the first thing I want to talk about. And it's this new show. Sorry, not a new show. It's actually renewed for a second season somehow. But it's this TV show, There's No Place Like Tyrone, that's currently on BBC Northern Ireland. I'm sure you've all seen the adverts for it on social media. How the hell did that get renewed for a second season? It's the most cringy shite you will ever watch. The typical cliche, find a farmer a wife, let's ride around in a tractor cutting about with a blue pipe, talking to cows like they're humans. Like imagine two men stand talking, going, that's some stock there, hey, look at the cute wee head in that calf. All while it has 2 tons of shite kicked its asshole. For me, that's not Tyrone. Not the Tyrone that I know anyway. The real Tyrone is people trying to navigate around the colossal mess that they made of Dunyan Square. Who even understands what fucking way you should get around it or how you get up and down it? Who fucking knows? Or the new roundabout at the top of the Oaks Road. Who knows what fucking lane to be in? It's that bad, even the police have had to post stuff about it on Facebook. It's a nightmare. But what TV would that make? Imagine having a camera at one end, another camera at the other end, and seeing what fucking cars make it through without cars stopping and boys getting out and baiting the head of each other. And that's the TV show I want to watch. You know, or I have another idea. What about making a show called Love Island? Island, for anybody who doesn't know what it is, it's the Wild West of Europe. There are no laws. Anything goes. Driving through Island is like having the skitter and trying to fart in public. You're not really sure if you should follow through it. Evil Knievel wouldn't even drive through it. And you can park anywhere in Island. Yellow lines don't mean shit. The yellow lines were painted on by 2 boys who were trying to hide from the brew. You can be driving into Island and some man just pulls the anchors on the car right outside the credit union and just hops out in the middle of the street. And that's how it goes. And hey, God forbid you'd fucking say anything, so you get your shite knocked in. And there's, I think, maybe 3 or 4 roundabouts in Island. And they don't mean shit. You have to drive over the wide circle. Because if you don't, and you try and follow the rules and drive around them correctly, you'll get your fuck knocked in. Did it try and bring in them constant red jackets, what do you call them, fucking traffic wardens? But he got swiftly put in the back of a van and drove to the Arbo airstrip and told not to come back. That's Tyrone. They're the real heroes. You know, Clyle is without a doubt one of the greatest places in the world. Film there. There's so many legends in it. You know what I mean? And TV licenses. They don't believe in them. And anyone from Clyle is so very proud to be from there. And you know what? I totally respect that. And a friend of mine who grew up in Clyle told me a story about a man in his house and said, well, it's true or not, I don't know, but it's a great story. So a TV license man called round to his house and says, sir, can I see your TV license? And the man says, I don't have a TV license. And he says, well, you've got an aerial on the roof. So the man goes, see him 2 milk bottles are on my porch step. TV license man says, aye. He goes, well, that doesn't mean I've 2 fucking cows out the back. Now, fuck off. What TV that would make. Fantastic. Also, Gervin's Pub in Clyde does a fantastic pint of tenants, if any of you are interested. Now, that's the show you want to be watching. You want to, like, people who, like me, who came from the Middle East, right? And I have totally embraced the culture of Tyrone of pints and slagging. That is that is the staple diet of any county or any country in the world. That's the show for the BBC to make. The next show I want to talk about is this Love is Blind show on Netflix. I don't know if anybody has have seen it. I'm sure you probably know somebody who's watched it or have talked about it. It's pure trash TV. It's so bad that it's good. And you know what? I'm all for it. So the premise of the show is to get these men and women into a house. They never meet each other. And they're supposed to fall in love through their personalities because they go into these wee pods and they talk to each other through this screen. And they can't see what they look like. Hence, love is blind because love is meant to be blind, even though it's not. But this is what happens. So they spend a couple of weeks getting to know each other, and then it's only when one of them gets down and one of them proposes to the other are they allowed to see each other, right? But the show's flawed, and it's flawed because the men and women are all good looking. They should have put in a few stinkers in there, you know, like, and you don't really get to know somebody after 3 weeks. Like, I just think of myself. Imagine I fall in love with someone, and then find out that they spend 3 minutes at an ATM machine. That drives me insane. All you have to do is put in four numbers, press the amount of money you want to take out, hit no to not print the receipt because I am all about saving the environment. Take your card, take your cash, and go on. A minute, tops. Right? Or imagine falling in love with someone and you find out that they clap when the plane lands. Like, imagine that, like. Or, do you know that our song Grace? Right? A fantastic song, right? But these fucking people who chant I will die in the chorus, them people can fuck right off. It doesn't even make sense. It's totally disrespecting the meaning of that song. So get a fucking life and don't chant it, or you get a fucking boot in the hole. Or imagine falling in love with someone and listen to the TV or radio at an odd number. Fucking psychopaths. It has to be an even number, a 0 or a 5. I can settle for a 5. Anything other than that, you need locked up because you're clinically insane. Or these people who wear hoodies with a cannabis leaf on it and it says addicted. Fucking grow up. Get a fucking life. You know, it's almost as cool as, remember, I used to have the no fear things on Nokia 3210s and Nokia 3310s. It was cool for a day. See now, you're a fucking loser. And that's nothing at anybody who smokes fucking weed or dope. Do what the fuck you like. I don't give a shit. But I think the meaning they're trying to get out of this show is that you can't judge a book by its cover. And you know what? That is so wrong. Because it's raising the world, and children especially now, are too mollycoddled. We're raising a generation of furries. Everybody's too easily offended. They want toughened up. Grow a backbone. Know that life's going to be hard and shit. And I have thought of a way to combat this, to train the next generation of youth. I have many friends, and yes, this is me flexing, and some of the greatest assets and what I like about them most is that they're unbelievable at slagging. The art of slagging seems to be disappearing. You know, I can hold my own in a slagging match, but I got that from being slagged because when I was in school, I was an easy target. I wasn't necessarily bullied because I had friends, but we just took the hand out of each other. And it learned to me that in future people are going to judge me by how I look, but you learn to not care because it's only a bit of crack, right? I was an easy target in school. I had a stutter. I was overweight. I was a different background, different religion, and having a stutter worked. So I tried to make a positive out of it. Having a stutter worked wonders for me at playtime when we were playing Army Men. All I had to do was start a sentence to begin with the letter A, and people thought I was fucking John Wick. Everybody wanted to be in my army team. Now, not so good when we were playing 1, 2, 3 red lights, as by the time I said it, that my caught for fuck's sake. But it was really a bit of crack. So what they should do is, every school should do this. Introduce slagging into the curriculum. Every Friday, set aside a period where a student stands in front of the class and they get slagged. And then, once that's done, sit them down, somebody else goes up and you slag them. Almost like a rap battle. No harm. A bit of fun. Now, obviously, I'm not saying go out and slag someone and bully them, you know, because that's not what I'm saying. But you have to learn to not be so fucking offended. It would pain me to think that the old classic slags from school are gone. The classics like Spacky 4-eyed prick. And when you said that to someone, you twisted your hands around your face to make glasses. Or somebody who had big ears, and you said to them, "Do you get Sky Sports in them ears?" Or somebody with ginger hair, S- simple but effective, Fanta pubes. Or even fat jokes. Like I've been the butt of many a fat jokes, many time. But it's a bit of crack, fun, harmless. That's what you want to learn in school, not shite like how to boost your self-esteem. The best boost for your self-esteem is by coming up with a clinker slag. That's how you do it. Imagine this, right? Imagine as parents, your child landing home from school and saying, "Mummy, Daddy, I need to come up with 5 slags for my classmates." Right? Imagine that for homework. Imagine the parent bonding, the parent-child bonding you would have there. Okay, son, come on the laptop. Show me your wee freaky friends, and you be going through all their profile photographs going, "Holy fuck, look at the nose and that cunt. He could smoke in the shower. Look at the size of the ears and that bastard. He would need ratchet stops to hold them back. Jesus, look at him. He's got psoriasis and needs to wash himself with a cheese grater." Learning them slags, but nothing too offensive. You know, Unbelievable. Like, that's what you want to do. Like, I just remember in school the crack we had with friends slagging out. And imagine there was a WhatsApp group going then. Imagine, imagine the memes flying around and all the gifs flying around. If somebody had to put their hand up and call the teacher ma by mistake, and then the big yeah, the big yeah used to happen when somebody would drop a plate in the canteen. I lived for them moments. They were unbelievable. There's nothing I love more than being surrounded by pints, friends, and all just taking the hand of each other. That for me is the true meaning of life. Not taking it, not taking life too seriously. In a world full of pain, misery, Boris Johnson, fucking Donald Trump on the coronavirus, be the vaccine of pints and slagging. And anybody who can't take slagging, even better. Because there's nothing better than somebody getting slagged because they can't take slagging. Like, I can tell you an example that happened to me this week actually in work of somebody catching me with an unbelievable slag. So we were in the office and I was slobbering about, oh, every year I do 3 new things and one of them's this podcast, and I was bumming and blowing on my fucking high horse. And the boy turns around and goes, "Shaggy, it's a pity one of them 3 things wasn't to lose weight." I was ripped out by the fucking roots, couldn't respond, and very, very rare I'm lost for words. But he laughed. Everybody in the office laughed, and I laughed. Because it was a joke, it was a bit of crack. There's no harm meant in it. Like, that brings me to my next point. I love WhatsApp groups and Snapchat groups. Like, I'm in a WhatsApp group, and it's mainly talk football shit in it. So whenever my team, Arsenal, are beat, it never lights. But it's unbelievable cracks. Only a bit of fun. And Snapchat groups are the same because you can be a wee bit risky because they'll hang deletes after 10 seconds. So sometimes we're a wee bit actuated the shite going in that, especially I'll slagging. But, only a bit of crack. Like, I play PlayStation there nearly every night. And there's a few of us beyond talking to their old fucking headsets. And the old classic slags still work. Like, somebody would say to me, "Shaggy, what were you at today?" And I just respond back going, "I was at your ma." Everybody laughs. It's only a bit of crack at the end of the day. Like, but it wasn't really at his ma. But you know what I mean? A bit of fun. And that's how we're going to have to train the next generation of the youth to toughen up, grow the fuck up, grow a backbone and a thick skin. And anyway, I just want to thank you all for listening to my first ever podcast. As I said, it's the first one, so apologise if it's a bit stop-starty. As I said, it's an introductory one, and if you do think there's a bit of a gap, it's not my stutter. I'm just getting used to being on the mic. And like anything, it's going to get better with time. Unless we're talking about Fenty Daly's hairline or Mark McGee, aka We Know Goes waistline. And I would appreciate whenever this podcast is released, that you like and share it. And if you want to give me a stick about it, give me a stick about it. Because I don't care. It's something I've always wanted to do, and it's a bit of fun. But I would appreciate the support. So that's all from me. The next episode should hopefully be out next week, and Adrian O'Neill will be on it, so keep an eye out for that. So, as every Irish mommy that hangs up the phone says, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. All right, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye.